Today on the 01581 Let's Talk, a conversation about electricity and the Westborough Power Choice Program. I hope you enjoy the show. Hi, and welcome to the 01581 Let's Talk. Today I'm joined by guest Kim Foster, our Assistant Town Manager. Kim's going to talk to us about the Westborough Power Choice Community Aggregation Program for electricity. And hopefully I'm not going to talk a lot today. Kim's going to run with the show. In fact, I just might go take a coffee break. Kim, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to provide an update on our very successful municipal aggregation program. Just stepping back, so municipal aggregation is really a benefit to residents in the community. Back in 2016, the town meeting voted to approve this, and it's really group buying power for our electricity, for our residents and our businesses.
Yep.
So we've had a history with a supply contract with a company called Dynegy. This is something that we went out to bid back in April, and we'll have a new supplier coming up before the end of the calendar year. So people are going to notice a change on their electricity bill, specifically their national grid bill. So just want to give folks a heads up, know what to expect. The good news is, let me start with the bad news. Rates are going up.
Which we've seen across, it feels like every industry. Electricity has not been immune to that.
Yes, we were very fortunate. The contract we've had in place, the rates that residents who participate in this program have had for the past 3 years were very favorable. When we went out to bid, it was a very different energy market than what we have today.
And I think in addition to being favorable, they were predictable. So for folks that are enrolled in the Westborough Power Choice program, they understood what their rate was going to be. They had a choice of 3 different levels of clean energy to choose from, and the rates fluctuated based on the cleanness, if you will, the greenness of the energy. But they had that predictability. They'll still have the predictability in this new contract, which you're going to talk about. But the rates have gone up.
The rates have gone up. So what we'll see with the November bill read, so the December bill is when residents will see a difference. And what we want to do is just make sure everyone is aware that this is coming. Recently, a notification went out to all existing participants from our new supplier, letting them know of this upcoming change. So if you got
my letter
in the mail, good. This is, it's got the town's logo.
I'm going to steal it for a second here. So for folks, it looks like this. It's kind of 2 pages. It came addressed to you as if you're enrolled in Westborough Power Choice, you got a letter. If you were not enrolled, did you get a letter?
No.
Okay.
It's for current participants.
And Kim's going to talk about what you need to do or not need to do as a result.
All right, so let's start with if someone got the letter, they're participating, but they want a refresher, want some more information. We do have a slide that has the town's website. If you go to the home page, westboroughma.gov, it is very easy to navigate to the Westborough Power Choice button right there on the home page. If you click on that, you will have a wealth of information available online. One of the things I do want to jump right to, this is front and center once you get into that website. This is a slide showing our new rates. So the town does offer 3 plans. We have a 100% green option, which is the most expensive plan. The new rate will be 16.39 cents per kilowatt hour. We also have a standard plan, which shows you in the graphic right here. 42% of that is the energy provided through that is from renewable energy sources. So this exceeds the state's minimum requirements. But then we also have the budget plan, which this is 22% of the energy in this plan is from renewable sources, and this meets the minimum requirements.
Right, which is 20, in the
Yes.
20%, 22%.
Yes. So this is also the lowest cost plan. We recognize that for some people, having the option both allows them where they want to be on the energy, on the renewability, the energy side of it, as well as the cost side is obviously important.
People have choices, which is great, but yet they still have predictability and a lower negotiated rate. Well, lower, we're going to
Yes.
get to that. Sorry, I didn't
Yes.
mean to say lower.
So one of the benefits, as you already mentioned,
Yeah.
we're going into this current contract will be 24 months,
Yep.
so pricing will be stable at these rates for
Yep.
the next 24 months.
Yep.
I think as many individuals know, National Grid sets their rates twice a year.
Right.
So there is some volatility in their rates.
Right.
So
Right.
one of the things I want to mention, these rates that we're looking at that will go into effect before the end of the calendar year are more favorable than National Grid's standard basic rate. However, one thing I do need to say is that future savings cannot be guaranteed because again, we know that National Grid will next August. Their rates right now are locked in for a 9-month period.
Got it.
But if somebody's looking for stability,
Yeah.
this program will give you that.
Sure.
One of the things that many people will look for on their electricity bill, am I enrolled, am I not, did I do this, I think maybe I did. There's a pretty easy way. If you pull up your National Grid bill, your paper copy, if you have it online, there's 2 pieces when you get your electricity.
Yep.
You have your delivery charge and then you have your supply charge.
Yep.
So your delivery charge, if you're in the program, if you're not, it's the same. It's this portion of your bill, and the graphic has it pretty
And
well.
that's typically right, I believe it's right on the front page.
Yes.
So if we're looking at that, yep.
The piece that will help you know if you are part of the current Westborough Power Choice program is the section that talks about your supply services. Today, if you're in the program or if you're looking at a bill that you've received in the past couple of months, past couple of years, it will show Dynegy is your supplier. If that shows up on your bill, you have been participating in the program.
And the reflected rate then, if you could just do that in that call-out box.
Yes.
Yep.
So you can look at the rate and it will tell you if you are currently part of the standard plan, the 100% green plan, or our basic plan.
Right.
Now, that's what the current bill looks like. That's the current contract. Once we move to our new contract, your December bill, you will see your supplier switch from Dynegy to Direct Energy.
So not to make it more confusing, Dynegy and Direct Energy, it's not a typo, because when I first read it, I was like, I had to
Correct.
refresh my memory of the
Exactly,
contract.
exactly.
It's a new supplier, and the rates, Kim, were negotiated by the town through
Yes,
the.
this was a competitive bid process. This is all, one thing I should have said up front, extremely regulated,
Yes.
heavily regulated by the state's Department of Public Utilities. So everything from the bidding process to the contract to how individuals can opt in, opt out, everything is heavily regulated.
Yeah, so Westborough's not making up its own rules.
Correct.
It's a very prescriptive process. Yep.
Correct. So one of the benefits of the program, if you are currently in the program, even though we are switching suppliers, you do not need to do anything.
Yep.
You can, if you wish to stay at the current plan, so if you're on the budget plan, you will automatically be moved over onto the budget plan with our new supplier.
Okay.
If you wish to make a change, if you wish to opt up or opt down, you are able to do so at any point.
Okay.
And you
No
can-
penalty, no changes, and you
No.
would just see that reflected in
Yes.
your next month's bill,
Yes.
presumably?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
There's a little bit of a timing.
Sure.
And anybody who's interested in doing this before the meter reads in November, I would just recommend
Sooner the better.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
So if you are currently enrolled, again, there's nothing that you need to do. You don't have to re-enroll. You don't need to reach out and confirm. It will just automatically happen.
Yep. Okay.
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 One of the other benefits of being part of this program, again, it's the stability. You also have the ability, as we mentioned, to change opt up, opt down anytime you want.
Yep.
One thing I will mention, if you choose to opt out of the program altogether,
Yep.
you may do so at any time. There's no penalty. You can go back to the National Grid rate, or there are other suppliers in the marketplace. no penalty to do so.
Yep.
The cautionary note is you can always come back into the Westborough Power Choice program,
Okay.
but it is not guaranteed that you will get these rates. You could come back in at a market rate. So just a caution.
Sure.
Certainly there are reasons people may choose to do
Sure.
so, but that's the reality.
And how would that look, Kim? So let's say someone was in it, they, for whatever reason, they opt out, and now they want to, looking back at our bill sample, and they see, okay, now I see direct energy, I'm back in it. Would they then see a rate that is different potentially than one of these?
Yes.
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
So we have an energy consultant that we work with to oversee this program, Peregrine, and I would strongly advise and recommend if anybody has questions or is thinking about making a change or something on their bill, they're not quite sure, it doesn't look right. They have an amazing and wonderful customer service department that's very responsive, very knowledgeable. So that phone number is 1-844-483-5004. That number is all over
Can
the
you say
website.
that number again, please?
1-844-483-5004.
Okay.
We'll have that. It's all over the website.
Yep.
We'll make sure it's on one of these slides.
Yep.
They are going to be able to help you, answer your questions, confirm your enrollment if you can't find a copy of your bill.
Sure.
If you're not sure what would the impact be of making a change,
Right.
reach out to those
Okay.
folks.
And I think it's important for our viewers to know that, again, this is a contract that the town has negotiated. There are competitors out there to Direct Energy, Dynergy, et cetera, as other suppliers. But repeatedly, the feedback that I have heard just in casual conversation is that the stability of those programs has not always been kind of potentially sold to the consumer in an upfront way. You know what you're getting with this program.
Absolutely.
It's been vetted by the town. I've heard nightmare stories where people are like, oh, I got this great rate, and then 3-6 months later they're paying through the roof. So if you're not going to go with the town program, strongly encourage folks to really make sure they understand what they're signing
Read the
up
fine
for.
print,
Yep.
ask the questions.
Yep. Okay, so anything else on the Westborough Power? So we talked about if you're already in the program. If you're not in the program, what do you do? What could
If you are
do?
not in the program, absolutely, you can call that same number. I'd encourage you to take a look at the website again,
Yep.
Get some more information, and there are various options there. Probably the easiest thing is to call.
Sure. And our town website also has a calculator. So if you go to Westborough Power Choice, up at the top there, you can kind of get a sense of what would my bill look like, with the rate. So you can kind of play around with that.
Yep.
So
Think
look at
about
the different
changing,
levels.
moving
Yep.
up or down. Yes.
Great.
Yep.
And what else?
All right. I think in terms of this program, again, these changes will be reflected December
Yep.
bills, and I think, again, any questions that customer service
And good for
member
24
can-
months.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Predictable. Great. Excellent. What else?
All right.
About energy.
So, continuing on this theme,
Okay.
additional opportunities for energy savings. I think many of us are thinking as the temperatures have been dropping, some of us have turned on the heat and the,
Oh, you haven't held out yet? No.
it-
I turned my heat pumps on.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a good
So,
thing.
thinking ahead to winter, it is not too late to take advantage of a home energy assessment through the MassSave program.
Okay.
The town is a partner with our utilities. Our local utilities are Eversource and National Grid.
Yep.
We are part of the Community First Partnership, which means the Town of Westborough supports, in conjunction with those two utilities, outreach to get folks to take advantage of these energy saving initiatives.
Okay.
Key point, first step, you need to have a home energy assessment done.
Okay.
Very easy to do. We have another slide that lays out a phone number as well as a website that you may go to or call to ask for, to schedule that assessment. We are partnering with HomeWorks Energy. They are a home performance contractor. This is the work that they do. This is our, it's a direct link, so you should be able to, in relatively short window, schedule the appointment at a mutually convenient time.
So just to be clear, because there are so many options out there, and it's generally not energy, and all of this is not a space that many homeowners understand or are comfortable with. So the subcontractor to this program, so it's MassSave, HomeWorks Energy. So would a homeowner ever be talking with someone other than HomeWorks Energy under this program? At least for the initial?
Not for the initial assessment.
Okay.
Not if you use this phone number and this website to book your appointment.
Okay.
MassSave
They have
markets
a lot
very
of partners.
broadly.
Right.
And there is, if you go to the MassSave website, my advice is to use this phone number, this website. Again, you can find this information on the town's website. And we are encouraging folks, the sooner you can schedule an assessment this fall, I think the longer window you have over the winter to potentially reap the benefits of weatherization. There are rebates depending on the work that is identified that your home may need to become more energy efficient.
Sure.
You will get a report. Actually, we have a slide that shows what to expect. So if you call the phone number, use the website to schedule an appointment. If you use the website, there are a series of questions that you will check off. Then you will be contacted by someone from HomeWorks. They get the approval through the utility to schedule the assessment. You'll set up a mutually convenient time. They'll send someone out. They will want to look at some of your utility bills, so you want to pull a few of those so they can look at your utility, your energy consumption. And then they will probably spend 2 to 3 hours. They're going to go up to the attic. They're going to look at weatherization. They're going to want to look at your heating
basement
systems.
insulation.
Yes, so they're going to ask for access to those places. They have assured me you don't need to clean before they come, so don't spend the time.
That's what they do.
So once they've completed that assessment, they'll actually generate a report identifying some areas where you could achieve some energy efficiency. They will then take some of those recommendations and look at the current incentives available under MassSave. One of the things I want to point out, we have all contributed and pay for these programs because there is a charge on our utility bill. So that is the pot of money that is sitting out there that is available. The utilities really want to spend that money. They've collected it from us. So as a consumer, you have paid into this. So you very much are entitled and should think about getting some of that back in the form of weatherizing your home.
Well, some of the benefits are potentially significant. 75 to 100% benefit on insulation. That's huge, and that can save obviously money on fuel costs or electricity or what have you.
Correct. It's both energy savings and just more comfort. You'll be more comfortable in your home. There are additional incentives also for income eligible incentives. So those are extremely a whole nother set of benefits available. So for anybody, as you're filling out the form to schedule the appointment, or if you're asked questions that relate to income eligibility, there's many benefits there. One of the benefits of getting into this program as well, you get some sort of immediate freebies.
All right, perfect.
So one of them, many people have seen the programmable thermostat. So this is something that you will get if you go through the energy assessment.
Now, if they give it, do they install it? Do the
I don't.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know that they install it.
Okay, so they'll give it to you, but someone has to install it. Okay. Okay.
And then may not seem like a big thing, but a power strip. So this is a power strip that you will get for free for participating in the program.
And those easily cost a good $30.
So just a few little freebies in addition to potentially some much more extensive savings.
So there are a lot of scams out there. I was just talking with some seniors earlier today, and the predatory nature of things, particularly with seniors, is just frightening. So what would you recommend if someone's like, I like this idea, but I'm scared. So like, what assurance can you give them that they're going to get the right person and who's going to come in and be vetted and safe and so on and so forth?
to your point, there are a lot, there's a lot of marketing from other companies. So if you're not sure, have questions, feel free to call the senior center.
Okay.
You can call the town manager's office.
Okay.
We're working with our sustainability coordinator.
Great.
So there's a number of options in the town, and then we can, you know, I don't want anybody to feel pressured into taking action.
Sure.
If it's the town's program, you should not be getting pressure. These offers are not going to expire. There's no window. So if you're hearing that should be a red flag.
Right.
Take the time, do your homework, and give us a call.
Yeah, and I think it's important for the public to understand that the assessment is just that. They're not selling you anything. They're going to give you recommendations. They're going to tell you what you're eligible for based on what the energy assessment tells you.
Exactly.
Or tells them. Okay. All right. Do you have a sense of how many people in Westborough so far have taken advantage of the home energy assessment? Do we have a head count or a household count to that?
We don't know at this point. We're still pulling the data for this year. Our goal through this program was to have over 400 completed.
Okay.
We are receiving grant money from the utilities to facilitate the outreach into the community.
Okay.
So we should know they pull the data. We work with HomeWorks Energy, and we work with our partners at the utilities.
And what's that period of time, Kim, for the 400?
So calendar year.
Oh, calendar year.
Yes.
So 2023.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
This is our second year of a three-year grant program.
Okay.
So we'll have another year.
Okay. Were we successful in our prior years?
We were successful.
Yeah.
The other point I want to make is we're focused on residents, but small businesses as well. So anyone out there,
Great
small
point.
business, looking for some energy efficiency, same thing. You can have an assessment. There's some turnkey solutions.
Okay.
Use the same phone number, contact,
Great.
and you may be funneled into some different incentives, but they can help you get where you need to go.
And for folks that are thinking about this and are wondering about the first part of our conversation, you made the point right at the beginning that Westborough Power Choice is that businesses are eligible to participate, so they too can call the same number and understand. Okay, great, excellent. Well, this is great news, timely information as we start to bundle up, and next time we'll wear, I don't know, scarves and
There you go.
So thank you for being on, and if folks have any questions about Westborough Power Choice, the town's community electric aggregation program, or the MassSave partnership, and remind me, Kim, I'm sorry, what is it called? The
Community First Partnership.
Community First Partnership. So MassSave Community First Partnership, excuse me. The information has been provided. We'll make sure that those numbers on where to call for both of those programs are prominent on the slides. And if you have any questions, you can contact the town manager's office or certainly the senior center as well. They've been advised of all these programs. Thanks so much for watching this episode of the 01581 Let's Talk. Look forward to seeing you on the next show.